7 months ago today, I hugged my adult son goodbye, and then I boarded a one-way flight from Tucson, Arizona to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico to start a new life. In this video, I'm going to go over the highs, the lows, and everything in between on my 7-month journey from the United States to Mexico, Belize, and now Guatemala. If you're a single parent of children who are grown up and out of the house, maybe you're 40 to 60 years old, then stay tuned. This video, I'm going to go over from my own perspective what it's like to travel solo abroad as a single dad 50 and over. So it was May 14th when I said goodbye to my son, and I flew from Tucson, Arizona to my first stop, which was Puerto Vallarta. I stayed there 11 nights, celebrated Pride Week. Then on May 25th, I boarded a bus from Puerto Vallarta to Guadalajara, me and my 4 bags. It was about 60 pounds worth of luggage, so it was not easy to pull off. Then I took the 4-hour bus ride to Guadalajara, and that my intention there was to establish Guadalajara as my home base, with the 2 goals of building this YouTube channel and getting a job teaching English. First, I tried the online thing, looking for a job teaching English online, and I struck out. There was just hardly any schools that would respond, hardly any schools that had any job openings. So then I tried the in-person thing, going to language schools in person with my resumes, my business cards. I even had brochures printed out. And all I managed was to land 3 interviews at 3 different schools. One school, they had an opening, but since I wasn't a legal resident, they couldn't continue the interview. And 2 other schools didn't work out there either. No openings, or my salary requirement was just too high, so I had to move on. And since I was in Mexico as a 180-day tourist, I needed to leave the country before that time expired. So at the end of October, I went to Belize. I spent November in Belize, 4 weeks there, because Belize is right next door to Mexico, and I had visited Belize 10 years prior, in 2015. And so I had a good time there, and then after Belize, at the end of November, I moved here to Antigua, Guatemala. I'm here 4 more days, and then I'll be in Guatemala City, Guatemala. So that's been my journey in a nutshell, from the US to Mexico to Belize and now Guatemala. Now I want to tell you about what I've learned. When your child is little, you're their boss, their disciplinarian, their chaperone, their chauffeur, you're basically their everything. And then they grow up and leave the house, your relationship with your child changes. You go from being their everything to being more of a mentor, a trusted guide, a counselor, when they need it. My own son has told me, don't give me any unsolicited advice. And so I thought, okay, let me back up. Let him do his own thing and trust that I raised him well and he could handle himself and come to me when he needs help. That's the biggest change as far as my relationship with my son is concerned. It's a role change. It's not going to happen for you overnight. You've got to kind of roll with the punches and let things run their course. So that's one change. Another one is the expectations of getting a job in Mexico didn't, obviously, as I said, it didn't work out, because apparently with a lot of schools you need to be a resident first. So having left Mexico empty-handed without a job offer, I still had a good time there in Guadalajara. It's a great city to live in, made a lot of friends, went to a lot of events, had a good life there, no complaints about that. But without a job offer, living there wasn't going to happen. Had a nice time in Belize. That was a chance to reset and figure out, where do I go from here? And so I had applied for a job with the US Patent Office, and that didn't work out. I haven't been offered the job. So I had a chance to relax in Belize and figure out a new plan. And I decided to look at Southeast Asia, and particularly I narrowed down the list to Vietnam. Vietnam has a higher demand for business English teachers compared to Mexico. The salaries are higher. The process of getting a work visa there is easier. You don't need to be a resident of Vietnam first. So that's where I'll be going in the future. And my time here in Antigua, 4 more days, and then I'm moving to Guatemala City, Guatemala, and I'll be there until the end of January, and then I'll be returning to Arizona in February for a couple weeks to visit family, take care of business before I go to Vietnam later in February. Other lessons aside from dealing with your role as a parent changing after your kid grows up and leaves, the visa requirements in Mexico, getting a job in Mexico not being what I expected. Just in general, living abroad, you need to be flexible, hyper flexible. You're not going to have the same life you did in the United States. That's just not going to be that way. In Mexico, I had to deal with a lot of power outages because when I was in Guadalajara, it was the rainy season, which is typically June through September, maybe October. A lot of rain, frequent power outages. There was even a construction zone that would cause power outages to happen. So, I just came to expect that. And so what I would do is I would find a coffee shop, a cafe, where I could set my laptop up and work from there. As long as the Wi-Fi is strong, you've got a place to sit down, you have a lot of places where you can work and get things done. And also I learned about what my deal breakers are in hostel living. I need obviously a comfortable place to sleep, a nice clean shower, clean bathroom, strong Wi-Fi, and a good location where you could be close to amenities like supermarkets, restaurants, coffee shops, that sort of thing. Learning about cultural differences as well, mañana culture, things tend to take longer in Latin America compared to the US, and that's fine. It's just something you need to adapt to, and that's not going to happen overnight. Belize was culturally a little bit different from Mexico. Obviously, the language, Belize has English as the primary language, where Mexico it's primarily Spanish, of course. So in Belize, it was easy to adapt because of obviously no language barrier for me. Belize I found to be a bit more expensive to live in because Belize imports a lot more goods compared to Mexico. Shopping in Belize, grocery shopping, was a bit different too. The supermarkets are set up, they're smaller. In Belize, you just don't have those big box stores like Walmart or Costco or big supermarkets like Soriana. In Belize, it's all mom and pop shops, mom and pop style restaurants, mom and pop style markets where they're not going to have everything. You might need to visit a couple different markets to get everything you needed. And plus, I was in Belize 4 weeks, so I didn't buy a lot of groceries compared to when I was in Guadalajara because I was there for 5 months. But all in all, Belize, enjoyable experience. It's just, if you're looking for big box stores and those conveniences you would find in the US or Mexico, you'll be in a bit of a shock when you're in Belize. The currency, $1 is always 2 Belize dollars, so there's no currency exchange to really worry about. It's already done for you. It's super easy. Moving on to Guatemala, it's a lot more like Mexico. You've got big box stores, chain restaurants, fast food, same fast food options you'll find in Mexico. Other cultural differences, you learn that as you go along. You learn on the fly. Things seem to take longer, service tends to take longer in restaurants, which gives you a chance to relax and just be in the moment and enjoy your time while you're there. You know, in the United States, you order your food, it comes to you pretty fast, and then they give you a bill. It's a quiet way of saying, okay, thanks for your business, now get out. In Mexico, and Guatemala, and Belize, you have to ask for the bill. La cuenta, por favor. Or in Belize, I'll take the check, please, or the bill, whatever you want to call it. In Mexico, sales tax is already included with the price. Same goes for Belize. And in Guatemala as well, the sales tax is included in the price when you go to a grocery store. And also, Guatemala includes a 10% tip in the bill. So you've already got the tip included. No need to worry about calculating the propina, which is what a tip is in Spanish. So I find that to be very user-friendly. All in all, I like shopping better in Mexico, Belize, and Guatemala compared to the US. There's no sales tax surprise at the end. It's much more transparently priced. So those are just some of the lessons I've learned. Now, I want to talk about future plans. I'm going to be in Guatemala till the end of January, 2 weeks in Arizona in February, taking care of business, visiting family. And then mid-February, I've got plans to fly from Phoenix to Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. I've never been to Canada before, so this would be a great opportunity to go there since it's on the way to Vietnam. And I'm looking at flights on Kayak and Skyscanner, Google Flights. And there's actually a flight that has a layover, a 9.5-hour layover in Tokyo. And I've learned that Tokyo has 2 airports. So I'm going to land in one airport and then take a bus to transfer to the other airport. And this will give me a chance to experience Japanese public transportation and maybe see some scenery and some city sites in my 9 hours there layover. And then I'll fly from the other airport. I'm landing in Narita Airport, and then I'll transfer to Hameda Airport. And then I'll fly from Hameda Airport to Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. And then I'll be in Vietnam for 90 days, pounding the pavement and looking for a business English teaching job. And I'm already in contact with schools. I'm getting my paperwork ready. I've got an FBI background check, my university diploma, and my teaching certificate all need to be legalized before I go to Vietnam. So it's a long, complex legal process that I'm managing from here, Guatemala, which is pretty amazing. So I'm very excited about the future to come. You know, taking the patent office job, sure, it would pay a lot more and I could pay off my debts quicker, but I have a lot of fear and trepidation about returning to the United States. It's chaotic, for lack of other words. I just would feel a lot better doing this challenge, doing the scary thing, going abroad to the other side of the world, literally, learning a whole new culture, learning a bit of Vietnamese, and getting a job living and working there for probably a couple of years. So that's my story. This is the Spend Channel, single parent, empty nester, digital nomad, where I help empty nest single parents, 40 to 60 in the US, relocate abroad, help them build a game plan for doing so, a custom plan just for you. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, share, subscribe, and please put your questions and concerns in the comments. I'll respond to every single one of them. And I'll even make future content based on your questions if you'd like. Thank you for your time. Have a nice day, and we will see you in the next video. Take care.